In our first example here, we're going to do something other than just the text command that we did in the last example. So we're going to move in a little bit more advanced here and show you a different example. First thing that you'll want to do is open some type of scene, create a new scene, or open an existing scene. I have a scene open already here. I'm going to go into my built-ins and drag some type of geometry down here. So I'm going to add a group first and just slide some type of geometry in here. And if you want, you can add some type of material on it. I'll drag a little yellow material on it so we see it a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and rename this container. And what I want to do is actually jump to the on-air mode and use our VizSend command just to kind of show you a little bit about this VizSend command. If you're not familiar with what it is, basically you can access it in your Vizrt folder. If you go into your Vizrt, whatever installation of Vizrt you have, Vizrt Artist, whatever version, it should come with this VizSend. So this is the external control module, let's say, that we're going to use for these tutorials. Now you may have your own external control module that you're sending data through, but we're going to use this one since everyone has access to it. If we're not using DataPool, what we would need to do is come in here and type a regular shell command. So when you're using it through the VizSend, we could start with the leading flag rend, which stands for renderer, or basically means that it's going to send this information to this particular scene. And like I said, since we're not using DataPool, we actually need to know where this sphere or geometry lives within the scene, and we actually need to know the name. So what I need to type in here is tree, and then we need to know the specific name of the container, which is ball, and then we need to tell it what we want it to do. So we need to say transformation, and I know I want to send it on the position. So we need to type position set, and now we need to give it 3 coordinates. So we'll type in coordinates for X, Y, and Z. We hit send, and you can see what happens there. It moves our geometry. Now we're going to jump back into Artist here, and we're going to do it a little bit different now without sending that. If you want to reset your geometry to the default position, you can go ahead and do that. We're going to go into the built-ins folder, into our container plugins, into the data. And this time, let's grab the position, our data position, and drag this right onto our ball container. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the data position up here in the field name. So I want to type in pause. We could give it any name we want, but pause is easy for me to remember since this is the data position. Now down here in the format, we can select how we want this position to move, the X, the Y, the Z, the XY, the XZ. Let's change this to X so that if it's set to X, it's going to move either left or right depending on which coordinates we give it. I'm going to go ahead and jump to on-air mode, and I'll bring up the VizSend command module again, and we can clear everything that we had done before. This time we're going to do it sending it through DataPool. So when we're using DataPool, the first leading flag that we need to type in there is 0, and then we can start typing our command. It's going to be a little bit different this time, but again, we're going to start with rend, and instead of telling it where to go in the scene tree, we're just going to tell it function use the DataPool plugin. So I'm going to type in DataPool, and we'll say data. And now we're just going to say set. And since we gave the field name the name of pause, I'm just going to go ahead and type in pause equals, and we can just give it coordinates here. So let's type in 89 as our coordinates. And when we hit send, this should send it on the X coordinate 89. So we hit send, and then it does. Now I know this is a little bit long, but again, you may have your own external program that's sending the data. We, for this tutorial, did not write one, so we're just using this VizSend. And this is the command here that you'll really want to use whenever you're sending DataPool with the VizSend command module. Let's jump back into Artist here at an on-air mode, and if we go into the scene settings, you can see what really happened here. When we sent the data, it sent the pause equals 89 into this reception area. Vizrt Artist received it and now moved the ball or the sphere 89 degrees. If we just come right into the scene settings into this plugin, you can come in here and type this directly. So now type in 450, it moves it off the screen. We delete that. It's now at 45 on the X coordinate.